Good morning. Good morning. It's a Thursday. I have to keep reminding myself now that I'm back on schedule for one more week. Hey. God, I've made a couple attempts to do this video. And each time things are changing. Started off with Trump being in court, and then what's going on in the House. And then I kind of connected the dots and just went, you know what, I'm going to do an I told you so video. And I hate to say it that way, but that's what it is. None of this would be going on if we didn't. If we would have asked for freaking taxes from a former president years ago. Plain and simple. All this could have been remedied if we would have verified that the person running for office was actually of sound mind and finances. And not too much more I can say about that. You know, it's I will say that none of this, but I mean, realistically, we don't know what tomorrow brings. And it's a big but. The reality is, somewhere we lost our minds. Okay, and it was pre-COVID. Although I think COVID has a lot to do with a lot of people's insanity, but that's a different subject. The idea that you ask for somebody into a place of power and you're not asking for the credentials, okay? We worry about if they're of a certain age or that they were born in the U.S., but beyond that, we're not saying, no, you need to produce this. You need to produce at least a snapshot of your finances, okay, from an independent, meaning the IRS. You know, we all have to pay our taxes. And if you ask any of the, we'll say Forbes list, we'll use them. You ask any of them to produce last year's taxes, chances are they could do it. Because they're legit business people. And if they can't produce it, they're not legit business people. Why would you do business with someone who is running a shady business or doesn't have control of their own finances? Why would you invest money in a corporation or a investment company that isn't going to tell you what your portfolio is going to look like? Okay, it's the same kind of concept. This all could have been fixed. This all could have been done had we just held to one standard, and that standard is you need to show your taxes, especially for the highest seat in the land. It has nothing to do with how much of a bullshit artist you are. It has nothing to do with how famous you are. It has nothing to do with your ratings in popularity. It plain and simple. It says who you are in relation to what you're saying about your business. If you're claiming to be a millionaire, prove it. And And you don't prove it by writing $1 million down on a piece of paper and showing. You prove it by an independent, which is doing a tax. Here's my taxes last year. And I'll step out of this one just to go, you know what? There are some gears in our mechanic, in our motor of the United States that need to be in order for our government to work. A lot of people have lost out the concept of the three branches. You can ask a crap load of people, and they don't know what are the three branches of government. A lot of people don't understand that on the judicial end of things, yeah, we vote them in, but or they're appointed, but they've got a set of standards. And the reason why they go into that office is for public service. They could be making millions as a lawyer outside of that sector. Okay? There are some entities, gears of this engine that need to run. And if you hear of anybody in Congress saying we need to defund the police, we need to defund or abolish this or that or this or that, I would be questioning them before I listen to that. Because they obviously have got it wrong. And a lot of them that are saying that are young. They're young in there, and you may not like the fact that experience is in there. And there is a line that it's like, okay, you've been in there too many terms, I get it. But, you know, there's something to be said about these new ones coming in and wanting to go off half-cocked and not realizing, hey, you need to work with people. You need to work with your constituents. You need to work with the system. Okay, and I'm going to go back full circle. The full circle being the platform that Trump ran on was Drain the Swamp. One of his many platforms. Be careful what you pray for. Be careful what you pray for. When you say drain the swamp, you got to realize some of those things in that swamp are the people you actually work with. Only to find out that the one pulling the plug on the swamp happened to be the biggest slime ball out of it all. He happens to be the biggest algae maker of them all. Okay? It's not it's not meant to be an I told you so, but an eye-opening experience that if you sit and breathe for a second and think about all the dynamics and all the mechanics, and don't turn your back from it. It isn't going away. It's been around for 200 years. Let's keep it going for another 200. Okay? But when you start to do that, you get an idea what's going on. And keep in mind with what's going on right now in the House and with what's going on in healthcare workers on picket lines, and they deserve more money than that after what COVID brought. After all this going on, I can tell you right now, our enemies are watching. Not meant as a scare tactic, it's meant as an awakening, as a reality check. Our enemies are watching. And right now, it's a very weird time, because it's a very weird time. And we need to keep that in check. I don't have an answer for you. I just sit back and watch the pawn pieces get moved around. And I just go, this isn't a good picture. Okay? Hey, nothing but love. Keep that in mind. Nothing but love. And have a beautiful day. It's a beautiful sunny day once again in the Northwest. Autumn is upon us. And heading out with Strauss. Roses from the south. Yeah, I know. I'm listening to more classical. It helps me in my commute. Hey, nothing but love. Have a great day.